Hi, welcome to another video. This time we're going to look at some CDs that I have had delivered since my last video. And I'll start with the US version of Black Celebration. And interesting thing about this is his back has got this wacky DM logo with the tracks on, compared to the back of the normal sort of UK CD, which looks pretty plain in comparison, and a bit more of a recreation of the vinyl. Interestingly, you can hardly see the motto of the vinyl on the UK version. It's "Life in the So-Called Space Age," it's supposed to say. The US CD does it rather better by having that motto on the back cover, "Life in the So-Called Space Age." So something else to note is the booklets themselves are slightly different. So here is the UK one, and it's got a recreation of the kind of embossed logos that are on the vinyl. The US one doesn't have that, and you can see the size of the banner across the top is slightly different as well. And in fact, the contents are quite different too, in terms of the way they're presented in the booklet. That's black on white. Funnily enough, it's got "But Tonight" on this as an extra track because that was released as a single over in the US because it was on the soundtrack of a film at the time. But there's no lyrics. Couldn't be bothered to do the lyrics. And then in comparison, you've got in the UK version, very similar to the inlay card of the vinyl. Themselves are rather plain in both versions. Nothing to write home about, really. That's the US version with the Sire logo on. Next, I couldn't resist getting another copy of Violator when it came up on eBay. This is a US version. You can see the logos on the back there. Compared to the UK version, they're very, very similar. UK back's got the barcode in a different place. Sorry about the reflections. Inlay card's very similar. And then just to sort of complete it, something that I thought I should get, thought I had actually, is the kind of re-release that was done. Aesthetically, this is far more pleasing because it's got the full rose on the front, unlike the half rose you get on the CD, which seems incomplete in comparison. So this is like a 2013 UK and Europe re-release on BMG Sony. Also interesting, I may have mentioned in another video that the booklet in the older copies says "the policy of truth" and "the sweetest perfection," and on this one they fix that. And this, interestingly, has also got a short essay by Daniel Miller about the album. And then if we have a look at the discs themselves on this newer 2013, it's got the quite plain but with the rose on. This is the same CD that comes in the collector's edition with the DVD with the 5.1 surround mixes on, and the little documentary films and some bonus tracks. And then if we look at the US one, that's quite fancy in comparison to one of the UK ones. So it's a lot different. And then getting a little bit more obscure now. It's amazing what you spot sometimes on eBay if you look closely at the pictures. And I spotted a footy logo on this copy of Exciter. I've said before and I'll say again, not my favourite Depeche Mode album. But yeah, I spotted quite a funny logo. Camera probably won't pick it up. There's a little logo underneath the mute logo there that says FMR. FMR stands for Festival Mushroom Records. And if you know your mushrooms, you'll know that indicates it's possibly from Australia. So this is an Australia and New Zealand release. There's hardly anything else to go on, really. The FMR logo is also on the CD too, and obviously the matrix number's different. So that's a copy of Exciter all the way from 2001, Australia, New Zealand. Then, very much more modern, 2021 release, the Almost Acoustic Christmas, the K-Rock broadcast. This is recorded a radio broadcast they did for K-Rock. It's a Christmas party that K-Rock hosts annually. I got this because I heard the story about the I Feel You going a little bit wrong. I think I read on DM Live. They had some technical issues where I think the backing track or what have you wasn't working, and it's quite nice to hear a bit of banter between David and the crowd as to what they were going to do about that. A lot of these kind of unofficial releases, some people call them bootleg, some people call them unofficial. I don't know what the difference is really. A lot of these radio broadcasts can be pretty poor quality. This one is really good. It sounds as good as I've heard. So it's 72 minutes of decent stuff. So it's got Personal Jesus as the opener, Walking in My Shoes, Precious, I Want It All, which you don't hear often live, A Question of Lust, The Sinner in Me, I Feel You, when they had a bit of technical issue, then I Feel You, actually done properly, straight into John the Revelator, Behind the Wheel, Enjoy the Silence, Shake the Disease, and Never Let Me Down Again. 72 minutes, and it's pretty good for an unofficial thing. The artwork is, they're limited to what photos they've got that they can use, and the back of the cover there is the same as the inlay there, and there's nothing on inside the inlay. There's nothing inside. So that's Depeche Mode, Almost Acoustic Christmas, the K-Rock broadcast. Then sticking with the unofficial theme, and this is rather different quality. This is Ultra Rare Tracks Volume 4. So there are 5 or 6 of these CDs in the series, depending on how you look at it. This is Volume 4. The quality is a bit mixed in this series. Very bootleggy. Country of origin, a bit unclear. It's got Question of Time Newtown mix on, Personal Jesus Kazan Cathedral mix, which is a Francois Kevorkian remix, Enjoy the Silence Triad mix, Our People People, which is the old Adrian Sherwood, Adrian on You Sound mix, Sea of Sin sample master mix, Fly on the Windscreen Touch Me mix, which is uncredited, Just Can't Get Enough Rubbermaid mix, To Have and to Hold Icelandic Taster mix, Dangerous has Kenix, that's by Daniel Miller, that's quite freely available, that one. A Question of Lust Minimal, Death's Door Skeleton Key mix, and Sometimes I Wish I Was Dead Flexi mix, which is the mix off the Flexi Pop 7-inch that came out. It's great that that's included, but you can tell it's recorded straight off the Flexi disc. And I think also the Enjoy the Silence Triad mix is 10 minutes 50, and it almost sounds as though it runs out of steam. It must have been recorded on a turntable where the belt was going or something, because it just sounds awful towards the end. So nice little curiosity, but quality is pretty poor. And then let's get back onto the official stuff. I got this Japanese version of Construction Time again with the Obi strip off eBay recently. It's on Forever Young series. It was done in 1989 according to Discogs. The packaging is very, very similar to UK version, and so actually is the disc isn't much different. What you do get inside is a fold out essay, very similar if you saw the Japanese vinyls I looked at. It's probably exactly the same, just on it in a smaller format to fit in a CD case. They smell so much of, I don't know, like an old greenhouse or something. It's not cigarettes, but it's also not pleasant. And the inlay has the tracks in Japanese at the start, and then some limited amount of lyrics, black on white. Oh, smells. Yeah, and then some CD information in Japanese on the back. And finally, Depeche Mode playing the Angel instrumentals. This is a promo CD. It's a CDR actually on reprise, so it is an official thing. It's not a bootleg. Came out in 2005, and as it says, it's instrumental versions of the whole album from start to finish. Really cool to listen to. Very, very strange not to have any vocals at all on it, and kind of does reveal in a way how these tracks are put together. You can hear very distinct layers to the music when the vocals aren't on. It says property of a record company for promotional use only, not for sale, resale, or other transfer or distribution. Must be returned immediately upon demand of the record company. So I hope they don't see this video and demand it back. Inside, very basic CDR. Obviously, when you're buying CDRs, you hope to death that you're not going to get somebody just burning their own CDRs and selling them as a unique thing that came out originally. This matches up with the photos on Discogs, all the IDs, what little there is, all matches up. So I'm fairly confident this is legit as far as a promo CDR can go. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again when some more stuff gets delivered. Cheers.